Part 296. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2951. Thinking about this, Grand Uncle G's eyes couldn't help but fell on Fang Fan, and he didn't know how powerful his monstrous apprentice would be able to sprint. After being told so much by Taishuji, Bai Biao was naturally very upset. Everyone is here to mess around, so they must show some face. Who said I have no attack power? I'm just keeping a low profile. My attack power is much stronger than theirs. Bai Biao was gearing up, as if what he said was true. Needless to say, the rest for the time being, this posture followed, and the brilliance in the eyes became more and more. Gradually, the sound of breathing became extremely rapid. Anyway, what is shown from the beginning to the end is such a gesture and feeling. If you want to talk about others, I may really not know, but for you, how can I still not know? So many trials, I have watched and supervised them one by one. Which time did you not run away? In the last trial, I was chased for 3,000 miles by a quasi-sacred monster. Shame. Shame. Uncle G sighed helplessly. While speaking, the corners of his mouth subconsciously twitched. When I think of this, I feel a headache for no reason. After thinking about it, that's what happened. This moment, that moment. Master, why don't you believe me? Last time I killed a holy one with one move. Bai Biao held her head high and held her chest high, then said solemnly. Puff. Puff ha ha. There were bursts of playful sounds from the surroundings, and the more I listened to it, the more my scalp tingled. Show off. This time the thoughts gathered here, and the eyebrows also raised in an all-round way. Brother Bai Biao, it's almost enough. Just pretend it's over. Guisha, who was standing next to him, couldn't bear to listen anymore, so he couldn't help but waved his hand and said, the helplessness on his face was beyond words. We have been together for so long, how can we not know how much we weigh? Guisha admits that Bai Biao's defensive power is invincible, but his combat power, really can't be flattered. He couldn't even beat the monsters in the quasi-holy realm, so why did he kill the supreme powerhouse in the holy venerable realm with one move? After thinking about it, I know this is inconsistent. The more I listen to it, the less it is true. Say you are not happy. Okay. Today, I will give you a chance as a teacher. Just pull out any one of these people around you. If you can beat them, I will let you enter the official team. Don't hold on to your defensive power, it's useless. What I want is combat power. Strong combat power. Taishuji waved his hand, and while talking, he sighed beside him. For it. Bai Biao frowned, with a look of embarrassment on his face. Uncle G showed such an expression on his face and said, if you step back now, you can still save some face. Just know your own weakness. If you know you can't beat it, give up quickly. Taishuji's words hit him, but Bai Biao didn't have too much expression. It's not that I don't want to compete with them, it's just that they are too weak. I'm afraid I can't control my own strength, and I will kill them with one move. That's not good. Why? It's so difficult. Bai Biao frowned, and then started the trip to Versailles. This guy is right on point. What's going on? Don't you have any points in your heart? In fact, Bai Biao's biggest reliance at the moment is the God-level special effects skill God Thunder from Heaven that comes with the 6th level God-level Lei Gong. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2952. This guy has always been such a jerk. The key will still be right at some point. Fang Fan opened his mouth, his scalp felt inexplicably numb. Show off. Can you take it easy a little bit, this brain hurts too, okay. Fang Fan glanced forward, and the black lines on his forehead couldn't help but also increased. As for the Grand Uncle G at this moment, he is actually getting into the pit step by step. Uncle G glared at Bai Biao, and there was really nothing he could do about this bastard apprentice. Compete with him, he is even worse than you, what a waste. Then what do you mean? Who do you want to compete with? Otherwise, you and Fang Fan have a competition. Tai Shiji was so angry that his beard trembled slightly, and while talking, he couldn't help but rolled his eyes. In fact, at this moment, Grand Uncle G didn't think Fang Fan could take off in full swing. It still feels like that all the time. He had to admit that Bai Biao's defense was really good, and it was the strongest existence he had ever seen. As for combat power, this kind of thing is not suitable for Bai Biao. Because this guy has no combat power and is nothing. Why? Fang Fan is still a step behind. It's still too dangerous. Master, or you can just make it difficult for me, how about I choose to attack you? You are rough-skinned and thick-skinned. If you hit me a little, it won't be a big problem. At that time, you can feel the strength of my attack, and you will know my mighty combat power. But I want to declare in advance, no matter what, I can't be angry or violent. Anyway, this mentality must be followed and stabilized, and you must not slack off easily. Bai Biao blinked, and while talking, the sound of breathing became extremely rapid, and the whole person gradually became floaty. Needless to say the rest for the time being, this time the thoughts gathered here, and the whole person drifted away. Good guy, now you dare to directly provoke Tai Shiji. This is the rhythm of deceiving the master and destroying the ancestors. At this moment, there was a burst of exclamation from the surrounding area. Those mentors and students all focused their attention on Bai Biao, and they became interested immediately, watching it with gusto. Float to the end, but will be beaten violently. Grand Uncle G was also amused, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help twitching at the moment. The few apprentices he recruited this year are really extraordinary. Needless to say, Fang Fan, now even Bai Biao is here to make trouble. The excited smile on this guy's face was beyond words, obviously full of confidence. But where did this guy get such confidence? Still trying to attack him? Are you sure you want to try it? If you can hurt me by attacking, I will select you into the official team, but if I find out that you are fooling me, even if your defense is strong, I will beat you to pieces. Tai Shiji shook his fists, and while talking, his eyes immediately focused on Bai Biao, which was the final warning. But Bai Biao didn't take it seriously at all. Could this little threat hold him back? What is his identity now? He is now the owner of the 6th class god Thunder God. He is a god. If the posture of the true god is displayed, it is naturally rebellious. Anyway, what has been shown from beginning to end is such a majestic and arrogant attitude. Don't panic at all, just go up and beat. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2953. All the melon-eating people around watched this scene, and the excitement on their faces couldn't help but increase. At this moment, their eyes are concentrated here, full of hope. Take off. A wave took off directly. So touching. Did this Bai Biao take medicine today? So fierce. He actually got into a fight with the undead mentor Uncle G. Tisk, tisk tisk, Tutor Tai Shiji is an invincible boss who can toughen up a demigod, and he can still retreat completely under the hands of a demigod. How dare this Bai Biao provoke such an existence? Are you going to fight one-on-one? Do you want to hurt Tai Shiji's mentor? Is this frightening? Is it possible? The Arabian Nights, it is completely the Arabian Nights. Hey, just like that, how did you say it? Tisk, tisk tisk, you're so awesome, beat everyone who refuses to accept it. I don't need to say much about the rest, anyway, I look very shocked at this moment. So powerful. It's a completely crushing situation. Looking at this, I can't bear it at all. Hey, just wait and see the show, and see how that Bai Biao is ridiculed in the end. Interesting. Really interesting. The more you watch it, the more exciting it becomes. The more you watch it, the more it takes off. In such a lonely area of the academy, it would be nice to have such a small episode. Brother Bai Biao is also a good person. This is sacrificing the small self to entertain the big self. Wave after wave of shouts followed, and the excitement on everyone's faces was beyond words. While talking, the sound of breathing could not help but become urgent, and they all focused on the scene in front of them, for fear of missing any wonderful details. Looking at it now, it has become more and more rhythmic. The more I watch, the more I want to see it, the more I watch it, the more I love it. Anyway, what has been revealed from beginning to end is like this, pure and real. After a wave of feeling in place, it gradually took off. Bai Biao rushed over excitedly, and now he was in a state where even 9 bulls could not be pulled back. Boy Fang Fan, watch me show off. Save this old fellow from looking down on me all the time. I have to show him too, my apprentice is not bad. Looking back, this old guy might just take out the coffin and give it to me. Well, that's it. Hold on. Be sure to hold on. Bai Biao took a deep breath, and while talking, he nodded quickly and said, the excitement on his face was beyond words, and his eyes were completely slack. Ideas also took off. With her head held high and her chest held high, Bai Biao came to Taishiji with a domineering face. Master, let me explain in advance. It's fine for me to attack. You are an elder, so you can't mess around. Just feel the strength of my attack later. As for other things, it doesn't matter, just hang on. Thousands 10,000, don't waste your time. You should understand all aspects of this matter, and it is necessary to be stable. Master, can you understand what I mean? The thing is such a thing, the situation is such a situation. Bai Biao's habit of chattering has never been corrected. At this moment, I couldn't help but started to groan again. Boo boo boo, that's a lot to say. Listening to the airs, inexplicably makes people feel a little physically and mentally exhausted. Show off. Stop talking nonsense. Hurry up if you want to attack. How can there be so much nonsense? If you don't attack again, I will educate you first as a teacher. The voices of scolding continued. Taishiji waved his hand, and felt his scalp go numb for no reason. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2954. Hey. Master, this is what you asked for, so I'm here. Don't be angry with you later. This is the case in all aspects, you have to be steady. I am coming. Bai Biao's eyes lit up, looking at the arrogant Grand Uncle Ji, there was still some small desire for revenge in his heart. Who told you to look down on me together? Who told you to keep comparing me with Fang Fanboy? Who made you eccentric all the time? Bai Biao rubbed his hands together, then suddenly flew into the air. God thunders from heaven. God thunder from heaven, you can summon God thunder once a day to attack the enemy. It can attack the enemy's body and soul at the same time. The power depends on the spirit power of Lei Gong. The cooldown period is 1 day. As one of the special effects skills of the 6th class god Lei Gong, it is naturally extremely powerful. In addition, Bai Biao's spiritual power is not bad, so the power of the summoned divine thunder is not bad. According to previous tests, it can almost reach the attack power of a low-level saint. And Tai Shuja is a high-level saint, and his combat power can crush most of the top saints, so this god thunder from the sky naturally cannot hurt him in a real sense, but from a certain angle, it is still possible to bring some oppression to him. At this point, it seems more real. Thinking of this in my heart, my eyes couldn't help but become erratic. Bai Piao let out a breath of foul air, thinking to himself, his eyes couldn't help turning all over. Immediately there were bursts of thunder rolling. Boom. Rumbling. A thunderbolt from the blue sky. Immediately afterwards, a divine thunder several feet in thickness fell from the sky, and struck Taishuji directly. Taishuji subconsciously wanted to avoid it, but Tianli seemed to have eyes, staring straight at him, and then urgently launched a divine thunder attack. In an instant, Grand Uncle Ji was completely scorched black by the lightning strike. Clothes, hair, beard, all were burned off. Looking at the Uncle Ji who was covered in black, Fang Fan, who was standing not far away, could not help but feel amused. At this moment, when I glanced at it for a while, I felt a little scalp tingling. Show, to show. Show off. This time, the mind feels in place, and inexplicably wants to let out a sigh. Needless to say the rest for the time being, this is more or less the thought and gesture at this moment, it is so real. As for Bai Piao who was standing by the side, he was even more excited. Ha, ha 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 ha. This way is too funny. Master, you still have talent in this area. Master, how are you? Are you okay? Master, you are talking, you won't be fooled by the thunder bombardment. Bai Piao started circling around Taishuji, seemingly comforting him, but the excitement on his face was already extremely real. This is just doing something. The rhythm of doing things is still so strong, this guy is really floating, completely floating. To put it bluntly, it is completely in an explosive state. Shut up. Too noisy. Taishuja finally started to make a sound. Immediately, he changed into brand new clothes at a lightning speed, and immediately grew his hair, eyebrows, and beard again. Everything is back to normal. But the sky thunder that bombarded over just now seemed to be still emerging in front of his eyes. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2955. Don't tell me you summoned the thunder that day. After Taishuji returned to his original state, he immediately stared at Bai Piao with a pair of big eyes. This is also unlikely. How did it become like this? Is the gap between this and expectations a bit too big? With a glance at the past, the stunned expression on Taishuji's face became more and more. What kind of freak is this guy, who can control Tianli? This is the rhythm of a complete explosion. For it. Actually, that's really what I summoned. Master, how do you feel? Is it okay? Can I enter the official team now? Master, you can't be too superficial. You can't keep staring at the thing in front of you, maybe in a corner you can't notice, a future true god is slowly rising. Master, can this pattern be enlarged a little bit in the future? Bai Piao held her head high, and while talking, the excitement on her face was palpable, her breathing couldn't help becoming quicker, and her whole body gradually became smug. This time the thoughts gathered here, and the corners of the mouth also rose in an all-round way. Needless to say the rest for the time being, this feeling followed in place virtually. I started talking about this pattern at every turn. Good guy. What a good guy. Grand Uncle Ji was stunned for a moment, and now he opened his mouth, his face full of confusion. This is it now? Are you all so smug now? Good guy, a wave of crushing and explosion. At this moment, the way Taishuja looked at Bai Piao changed. At this moment, in addition to surprise, there is also infinite horror. Is Tianli an existence that ordinary people can control? The only one who can control the sky thunder is the true God. In addition, the power of this thunder has even reached the level of a low-level saint. If it weren't for this, Tai Shija wouldn't have been directly bombarded to talk together just now, and his hair and beard would all be burnt out. Feeling the position at this moment, the whole person is completely confused. Once you feel the bit, it doesn't feel real. I thought I was just such a monstrous apprentice as Fang Fan, but now another Bai Biao appeared. Grand Uncle Ji directly pulled Bai Biao to Fang Fan. It was indeed the thunder he summoned just now. Isn't it you who are secretly playing tricks? Fang Fan, you bastard, tell me the truth. Uncle Ji focused his attention directly on Fang Fan, and he was staring directly at him. He felt that there was something wrong with Fang Fan. It just doesn't look right. The more you look at it, the bigger the problem. If these questions are not clear, I will be too anxious. Master, what do you mean? Ah, this. You do not believe me. Master, it's okay for Fang Fan to be evil, but it's my turn to be evil. Master, can you hold back your partiality a little bit? Isn't it too fake? Master, you can't do this, it doesn't look good. Master. You really are, you have nothing to say. The corners of Bai Biao's mouth twitched, and while talking, the black lines on his forehead couldn't help gathering together. The weird situation then flashed across the board. The more you look at it, the weirder it becomes. The more you look at it, the more different it is. Don't mess with me with all these moths, are you fooling me? Why don't you summon another sky thunder to show me now? I can't believe it. You're really a genius. Tai Shiji stared at Bai Biao with wide eyes, with a look of great interest on his face. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2956. Bai Biao opened his mouth, feeling very embarrassed at the moment. Can this be cast at will? The things involved here are still more complicated. If you should be stable, you should be stable, and the key point is necessary. Shen Lei Tian Xia strong is strong, but you can only use it once a day. If you cast it too many times, the effect will disappear. Bai Biao let out a foul breath, thinking to himself, and let out an inexplicable sigh. Anyway, this wave seems to be a headache. It feels real. Cough. Why don't you come back tomorrow? Today, rest and recuperate. Bai Biao rolled his eyeballs, and then said solemnly. Sure enough, I knew you were fooling me. The thunder was not summoned by you at all, right? Or it was just a coincidence, but there must be no second one. Tai Shiji groaned, then nodded, as if he had understood everything. Doesn't this look like that? Is there anything else involved here? Bai Biao was anxious at the side, but he didn't know how to excuse himself. He is so difficult. Then he looked at Fang Fan, obviously wanting Fang Fan to say a few more words for him. Otherwise, the melon seeds of this brain will soon be cracked. Facts are facts, can't you explain it a little bit more clearly? After this wave, the brain seems to be very painful, okay. Master, this sky thunder was indeed summoned by Bai Biao. However, there are some restrictions. You can only use it once a day. That's probably what happened. If he is really arranged in the ring, he will definitely be able to kill an enemy directly and win a victory. Of course, the premise is that the opponent is an existence below the saint realm. However, after that game, he's about to end, otherwise he won't be able to maintain his mastery. Fang Fan pondered for a while, then shrugged and said. From a comprehensive point of view, it is indeed the case. As long as you understand it in your heart, You don't need to worry about other things. For Fang Fan's words, Grand Uncle G still believed very much. Although he still felt foggy after listening to it at this moment, the sound of breathing became imperceptibly quickened, and his eyes became extremely clear. And this kind of thing, I've never encountered it before. It's very special. It's really shocking. Tisk, tisk tisk, extraordinary. It is indeed extraordinary. Taishaji took a deep breath, then nodded quickly, his facial expression changed very realistically. Immediately, Grand Uncle G turned his head to look at Bai Biao, and the smile on his face gradually became much kinder. Undead mentor Taishaji's favorite is this kind of excellent genius. Glancing at the past, the whole person was inexplicably excited. Needless to say the rest for now, this kind of mentality gathered here, and the sound of breathing couldn't help but become rapid. Being stared at by Taishaji for so long, Bai Biao subconsciously felt a little hairy in his heart. With this gaze and expression, is it possible that he still wants to devour him directly? Master, cough, are you okay? Bai Biao subconsciously took a few steps back, and then took a deep breath. So difficult. This wave is almost unsteady. Liang Yueguang is practicing to the end. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2957. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. If your special ability is put on the ring of the exchange competition, it will definitely set off a bloody storm. Good, very good, excellent. It should be, that's how it should be. Tisk 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 tisk, just looking at this makes me feel a little bit touched. Grand Uncle G groaned, then nodded quickly, the excitement on his face was beyond words. Needless to say the rest for the time being, this feeling is directly in place. Very real and very clear. But why didn't I see you have this ability before? Why can you summon Tianli all of a sudden? This is not right, there is a problem here. Tell me carefully, what's going on? Speak clearly, so I can record it. Sky Thunder can be summoned. This is not something ordinary people can do. Could it be that you are a descendant of Thunder God? Or, do you have any special divine body or veins? Tai Shuja continued to look at Bai Biao, and was completely excited at the moment. While talking, he nodded quickly, the more he looked at it more vigorously, the more he looked at it, the more it looked like that. At this moment, the smile on the face is completely revealed, and the brilliance in the eyes is also flickering. So far, I am very excited. Special divine body and veins, son of Thunder God. Master, your imagination is also very strong. Actually, when I went to bed at night, I dreamed that I was surrounded by thousands of thunders. When I woke up in the morning, I found that I could summon the thunder. Why? I don't know what's going on, what a headache. I don't know why Tianli chose me because of his hair. Perhaps what you said, Master, is right. I do have the blood of the true God in my body, or the reincarnation of the true God. Master, so you have to curry favor with me now, so that I can support you after I attain the position of true God. Otherwise, the gap between us will get bigger and bigger in the future. Little G. You must have eyesight. Bai Biao sighed and raised his eyebrows while talking, and became more and more embarrassing as he spoke. Bai Biao is the kind of person who likes to go too far. When encountering something, I just want to follow the bluff, as if I think this is the only way to show my proud posture. Tai Shuja was confused, but he understood the last sentence. Hey guys, this is getting drifting. Said you were fat and started panting? It doesn't matter whether you are of the blood of the real God or the blood of the false God, at least you are still my apprentice now. Also, I need as much as I want. I'm telling you, you're just a mess, you'd better give me a break. Don't mess with me here. Uncle G hummed twice, then glared at Bai Piao, and then went straight back to the high platform. Bai Piao wriggled his lips, complaining to himself in his heart, hey, I can't play this anymore? You always use the name of master to suppress me. This guy is so bad. Bai Piao groaned twice, and then made complaints all over the place. It doesn't sound like that at all. It feels like it's a little uncomfortable. Thoughts gather here, and there are nods, especially what happens. At this moment, the surrounding people have more or less recovered from the earth-shattering thunder. At this moment, many people's eyes were focused on Bai Piao. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2958. After all, the wave of summoning Tian Li just now was really pretending. The appearance of that outfit to the end is inexplicably shocking. At this moment, their eyes widened, and the excitement on their faces was beyond words. Those who can control Tian Li are definitely not ordinary people. At this moment, everyone has already seen it in their eyes, and they are excited in their hearts. The uproar followed one after another. Okay. Stop arguing. That's the thing, that's the situation. Stop it all. Stop making noise. After a comprehensive inspection by my instructor, the first place in the official team will be given to Bai Piao. While Taishuji was talking, his excited eyes couldn't help but focus on Bai Piao, and the smile on his face was very real from the beginning to the end. This time the thoughts gathered here, and the smiles on the corners of the mouth became more and more. His eyes are flickering, and all kinds of feelings are also gathering in an all-round way. Anyway, it's just such a gesture. Very real and very clear. I didn't expect such a surprise. With the addition of this Bai Piao bastard, this time in the exchange competition, the first-year freshman will be more secure. Plus Fang Fan, I want to see who among those colleges can compete with our Guangming Academy. God has treated my Uncle G very well. Such geniuses have been sent to me, and two of them have been sent one after another. Taishuji thought to himself, then nodded silently. The excitement on his face was beyond words. Needless to say anything else, this time is the purest and most exciting moment. Let all this follow and explode in full swing. All kinds of thoughts gather here, and the ideas also follow in full swing. The second member of the official team is Fang Fan. The third member of the official team, Galen. The fourth member of the official team, Jax. The fifth member of the official team, Vega. All the remaining first-year seed class students will join the reserve team. After the exchange match starts, I hope you all can continue to work hard. Create another glories for our Guangming Academy. You are not only fighting for yourself, you are not only fighting for our Guangming Academy. You are fighting for the entire light and justice. You all will crush everything with a super posture. Today you are proud of Guangming Academy. Tomorrow, Guangming Academy will be proud of you. Fight. Create an immortal miracle. Please let your names be engraved on the fame monument of Guangming Academy. Let the latecomers admire and remember forever. One roar after another followed. Taishuji gradually became emotional, and while talking, the excitement on his face was beyond words, and the brilliance in his eyes was also flickering all over. While speaking, the sound of breathing gradually became extremely rapid. This thought is following the full leap. The excited expressions on everyone's faces gathered here, and their lips couldn't help trembling along with the whole area. It is such a gesture, extremely sincere. Listening to the first two sentences is really quite contagious, but after listening to a lot, I feel a little scalp numb for no reason. It is useless to say that some of these are useless, the key is to give more star cores and credits to inspire people. After completing these simple ceremonies, everyone returned to the dormitory to rest for the night, and set off directly the next day. The venue of this exchange match is set within the territory of Yuanji Academy. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2959. After all, the real purpose and significance of this exchange competition is actually to carve up the sacred soil resources found in the territory of Yuanji Academy. Those are the most important things. As for the others, it's just bullshit. What kind of friendship can be established in a real friendly match? Everyone is not so free. Most of the colleges and universities are hostile relations, wishing to beat each other to death immediately. Return friendship, not enmity, is considered good. In the past, the scenes of friendly matches were basically full of blood, and the most frequent occurrences were also blood. At this moment, not to mention the stimulation of the sacred land resources, so the scene of the exchange match will only make the scalp tingling. This time we will go there on a flying battleship. Our Guangming Academy dispatched a total of about 80 students. Among them, there are about 20 students from the 1st grade to the 4th grade. Besides, there are about 30 Saint Venerable teachers who will follow along, mainly to protect your safety. In addition, the first-class Temple of the Alliance of Light will also send 1,000 member Knights of the Temple to protect us. The Knights of the Temple are at least above the 7-star sanctuary, and at least 100 of them are saints, and they can almost protect our safety. In addition, there will be a demigod dispatched from the Temple of the First-Class Light Alliance, and a demigod will be dispatched from our Guangming Academy. Tai Shiji was rambling, and then continued to talk. This lineup is indeed a bit big. The total number of students is less than 100, but now there are more than 100 holy masters participating in the guards. Not to mention there are 2 demigods escorting. Is the Bright Academy and the Temple of the Bright Alliance a bit too kind to these students? My dear. Is this going to participate in the exchange match? With this lineup, I believe you even if you say it's going to fight. Aren't you planning to do a game under the guise of participating in an exchange competition? Is this going to take over those students from the Dark Academy? 2 demigods, more than 100 saints, what a great deal. Master, if this is the case, you should discuss it with me in advance, so I can get away early. Bai Piao took a deep breath, and while talking, the corners of his mouth couldn't help twitching. It must be a lie to glance at the past and say that there is no feeling at all. At this moment, my heart is naturally full of shock. The anxious feeling in my heart gathered here, and the whole person became smug. Thoughts are gathered here, and the eyes can't help but look a little erratic. This is probably the attitude at the moment. Very real, very pure. Kick off. War. Why do you play so much? We just want to ensure the safety of the participating teams. After all, this exchange event is about the division of sacred soil resources. Even if we have no bad intentions, we must take precautions. If those in the dark camp want to chase us and assassinate us, there must be a certain counterattack power. It's fine if it's an ordinary exchange match. There is a high probability that they won't go too far, but after all, this is not an ordinary exchange match. There are too many things involved in this. You must stabilize your mentality and don't slack off easily. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2960. Tai Shiji groaned for a while, and then explained from the side. After Tai Shiji finished speaking, he immediately focused his attention on Fang Fan. According to your comprehensive combat strength, it shouldn't be a big problem to win the first-year competitions in various colleges. I mean, if you can continue to participate in the competition. The elites of those second-year students are basically in the middle of the 5-star to the peak of the 5-star sanctuary. If you want to participate with your current combat power, there is no problem. After the first grade competition is over, you can still apply to continue to participate in the second grade competition. Taishuji took a deep breath, and his eyes couldn't help flickering with a different kind of brilliance. This time the thoughts gathered here, and the whole person became smug. Can people of different grades be mixed up to participate? Are the rules of the exchange game so loose? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, his face could not help showing doubts. This seems to be a bit different from what I imagined. It always feels weird. It is probably such a feeling and state of mind. According to the rules of the exchange competition, senior students are definitely not allowed to participate in the battles of the lower grades, but students of the lower grades can definitely participate in the battles of the higher grades. In addition, the exchange competition generally starts from the first grade. That is to say, after the first year exchange competition is over, the second year will be held, and after that, the third and fourth grades will be held. In the end, the sacred soil resources will be divided according to the ranking of the school or college in each grade level. According to the school's internal rules, the best performers in each grade competition will receive extremely generous rewards. The rest of the contestants will also receive some consolation money. There will definitely be a lot of rewards from the school, and you will all have the priority to enjoy the sacred soil resources. Sacred soil resources, if you can sit on the sacred soil and practice, not only can you increase your cultivation speed, but it can also help you understand the divinity, paving the way for the promotion of demigods. So you must not miss it. Such a good opportunity must be firmly in our hands. If you miss it, it's really gone. Fang Fan. You must seize this opportunity and do your best to win as many games as possible. You are the apprentice with the best aptitude and the most monstrous combat power I have ever seen. I have nothing to teach you, and there is nothing that can help you improve your cultivation. Now, for you, the resources of the sacred soil are definitely the most powerful, excellent training resources, don't miss it easily. Uncle G persuaded him earnestly from the sidelines. While speaking, his facial expression changed very realistically, his breathing became extremely rapid, and his whole person gradually became erratic. Fang Fan knew Taishuji's disposition, which is normally very Buddhist, and he also held a calm and indifferent attitude towards these matters, so that there would not be too many messy thoughts gathered in it. But this time it's obviously different. From the face of this cheap master Uncle G, Fang Fan can see the extreme desire and seriousness. Divine soil resources, extraordinary. The brilliance in Taishuji's eyes was very bright, and after thinking about it, his breathing couldn't help but become extremely rapid.